Good morning, everybody. It is meteorologist Ace Weather Forecast, and welcome back to another tropical update, guys. This is going to be another update on Tropical Storm Barry now, guys, and it is just a couple hours from landfall. I don't mean like 2 or 3. I mean it's possibly less than a day. It could make landfall around 1 or 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, guys. It's going to be so right when I wake up. It should be hurricane. It could be hurricane. Barry possibly, but it could make landfall very soon, guys. So I just thought I can do a quick possibly a triple upload today, the day before, and makes landfall for you guys. Have a good idea, and it's still not too late to evacuate, but you just have to do it right now, guys, because depending on how far you guys are gonna go, all you gotta do is possibly drive all the way. If you live in the New Orleans area, if you want to evacuate, maybe just either come to the most western part of Louisiana, not that far of a drive, and you'll be in the clear zone. Or so we think. But guys, if you guys want to know all the new updates, then please watch this video, and please never forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And a shout out to Insight Weather, guys. Again, he's an awesome person. We're going to be collabing on his channel around 3:30, so stay tuned, but subscribe to Insight Weather. And yeah, guys, if you guys want to know all the new updates on the tracks and timing, then I'll come right up. Alright, everybody, as you can tell, we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service again because we still have new updates on this. We still do have hurricane warnings and storm surge warnings, which is still meaning that it's still a big deal, even if it's going to make impact or inland impact as a tropical storm. As you can tell, we do have the hurricane warnings in this dark red color right here, just above tropical storm warnings, and it's actually in from some very small counties just off the coast of Louisiana. We have like 2 or in between 2 to 6 counties. It's very hard to tell, but and we also have one in an inland area too with a hurricane warning, but we do have it right off this coast near this Bay area. That's where we do have some counties out there with some hurricane warnings. And then just north of that, in the dark purple color, just north of the hurricane warnings, we do have storm surge warnings, which is where we can get up to possibly 5 to 7 feet of storm surge, which is really, really bad because this Bay Area can flood a lot easier now, because we've actually had quite some thunderstorms and some rain showers the past couple of days in these areas, and also the outer bands of Tropical Storm Barry are actually affecting parts of southern Louisiana right now. So that's where we also have a flood warnings there and all that. And then the lighter purple for the areas next to New Orleans and actually even to Gulfport, we do actually have storm surge watches, so that's where we have to watch out. It could possibly maybe be 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 feet of storm surge, which is so extremely bad, especially the 4 feet, because that can go up to half or to cover most of your car there. But once you get more than 4 feet, it starts to carry your car because the water's so heavy, guys, and you just gotta watch out because these waters will have currents and push anything that's in its way. And then we also do have tropical storm warnings in the inland areas close to the Baton Rouge area and just north of New Orleans. And then we also have flash flood watches in effect for the Panhandle, the Mobile area, and then for Jackson and for the Jackson, Mississippi area and part of the northern part of Louisiana. So that's where we have those cities next to the Mississippi River, where we can have that Mississippi River possibly flood. That's also a big deal there. So guys, I can tell Barry is very, very close to inland right now. It's just in the next couple hours, like I said. As you can see, the little outer band of the symbol is already into the Louisiana area. We already have some clouds, some drizzles, maybe some windy conditions, or windier than usual. But here we have Tropical Storm Barry. It's at maximum sustained winds at 45 knots or 50 miles per hour. So you can tell it has gotten a lot bigger and a lot stronger since yesterday. And also the minimum central pressure is 998 millibars, which is really, really a sign of it increasing and gaining power. So it is getting a lot stronger based on the millibars and winds. But it's still moving now. It's actually changing direction. Now it's going west but northwest, because now it's taking that turn to the north to hit the Louisiana area. If it didn't take that turn, it would be hitting Houston. But guys, it's still moving at 5 miles per hour right now, so it's really still moving very, very slow. But it's getting very close, awfully close to the inland area, so we can have some flooding even before Barry makes contact, because it's moving so slow. Same thing happened with Harvey and Irma. It was so slow moving that it caused so much rain in so many areas. But again, that's what we're looking at here. Now we're going to be looking at the satellite imagery now. So as you can tell, here's Louisiana, here's the Panhandle, and here's Alabama, and then Mississippi. So here's Gulfport, New Orleans, Mobile, and then Pensacola. So guys, as you can tell, like I said, we are having some cloudy conditions. We are having a lot of vorticity for these areas. We're going to have some cloudy conditions for the New Orleans area right now. So we are having some cloudy weather today, and that is a sign that it is very close. So people are really going to be very upset that it's cloudy today. I know they are mostly times cloudy, but they're not going to like this day that's cloudy, because that is a sign. That it's getting very close, and the outer bands are already starting to affect the inland areas. It's even getting to the Mobile area. That's how big these outer bands. We are seeing vorticity now in these bands now, guys. So we're just gonna be having a lot of vorticity coming in this area. You can really see it's going like around like this. It's gonna be going in around. And then once that's eventually going to be coming around again. So we are now having vorticity, which is a very good sign, but also a bad sign. It's a good sign because we are finally seeing it possibly get into a hurricane, but it's a bad sign because people are still here that have not evacuated yet. So that's good and bad thing. Mostly a bad thing, though. So we are having the center of it kind of right here. It's still not really super duper organized like Barbara, because Barbara was a major hurricane. This is a tropical storm. But we are somewhat getting vorticity going this direction, which is kind of the opposite way. But we are having, most likely we are having the center right here. No, that's not exactly in the center, but you can just tell by all the cloud formation, all the activity going on right here. So this is the satellite imagery. It should be a lot closer by tonight if I choose to do triple upload. Alright guys, so now we're going to be looking at the cone, the timing, and the warnings, and all the alerts too. So we're going to be looking at the red first. At the red, we do have the hurricane warnings right here if you want to know. All the alerts are down here. But you can tell, now you can really see how much inland it is. I know it was really hard to tell in the National Weather Service, but here you have a better idea of where it is. It's more into, not super inland, but it's on the coastal areas for the southern coast of Louisiana. And then we do have, in the blue, we do have tropical storm warnings out there for New Orleans has tropical storm warnings. And it stretches all the way from New Orleans all the way to parts of the southwestern coast of Louisiana. And then just underneath that, we do have a hurricane watch in the pinkish color. And then in the yellow, we do have tropical storm watches. So Gulfport's going to be having some of that. And also the most southern part of Alabama right there. So as you can tell, we have a big blob now. So we can actually now see that it is getting a lot bigger and a lot stronger, because we have such a big circle now that has tropical storm current winds. Yesterday it was very, very small. The first video yesterday was like this, but now you can tell how much bigger it is now, how much it's extended. As you can tell, it looks like it will make possibly the earliest impact, like on the most southern part of Louisiana, could be at 1 a.m. Saturday, which is tomorrow. So that's why I'm saying we could have landfall in less than 24 hours. So it can really impact parts of Louisiana very soon. By the afternoon Saturday or the afternoon tomorrow, it will be in Louisiana, moving up towards the central part. And then it will be tropical storm as for Sunday too. So it could be tropical storm more than we thought, moving straight up in central parts of Louisiana and becoming a depression as it goes to Arkansas, and then subtropical, the remnants of Barry as it goes into the Ohio Valley area and to the areas of Indiana. So guys, we actually do finally have agreement. Yesterday we had a bit of improvement, but now we finally have some kind of agreement. I do know we do have some models that are getting to the Mississippi and Alabama and of course Nashville, but of course we're not going to have them all agreeing, all going to be somewhat together. And then again, we have that UK model always standing out, showing it hitting Kansas and going out parts of Texas. That's not possible really, because it's already making this turn towards Louisiana. But this is the cone that we can kind of agree with. All the models are kind of showing it. So this is my cone here based on this. So if you are living in any of this, even if you live in Ohio, even if you live in Arkansas, even if you live right here, it is you are possibly getting affected. So guys, if you guys are actually living in New Orleans, it's a bit better now. If you're living in Gulfport, it's a bit better, because look, New Orleans is looking like it's in the clear now. Just like that, New Orleans is in the clear for now. Yesterday, all the models were all over New Orleans. Just like that, it can change. So looking like now it's going to go more towards central, or now it's looking like it's going to hit Baton Rouge, the capital. So now that's a lot worse because it looks like we have a bigger population. Because I bet you a lot of people did drive up from New Orleans already all the way to these areas, because it did look like it was going to come this way. So that is actually a lot worse now, because we actually have some people that evacuated now on the I. So it looks like it could go straight up through Louisiana. Looks like it could possibly be a bit better. Now it's not looking like it's going to go straight over the Mississippi River, going straight through Little Rock, parts of St. Louis, and possibly Aurora, Illinois, and then possibly even Columbus, Ohio, and all that. So we're going to go very far out. So guys, now we're going to be looking at the intensity guidance. This morning, 0 models showed it in Category 1, but now we have 3 models now showing it to Category 1. So that is somewhat a sign of showing it getting there to possibly getting to Category 1. As you can tell, it's at 50 miles or 50 knots there, and it all the models are showing it increasing right now, and then most of them by the next 24 hours looks like it makes impact, and by the next 36 hours it does show it. All these models, most of them show it weakening into a weak tropical storm there, weak tropical storm Barry. This is probably when it reaches Arkansas. And by the time it gets over St. Louis in the next 48 hours to 72 hours, it does look like it gets to depression very fast, and then becomes a remnant of Barry. Alright guys, now we're going to be looking at the, we're going to be like 10-meter wind, and this is the wind you can expect on the sea surface, and if you live in the sea surface area. So I can tell by the next 30 hours, looks like we are having, again, some impact out here on Louisiana already. We are having up to 45 knots there. We can actually see it now getting to 52 knots. It's going to be affecting Louisiana very slowly, which is actually a very bad sign. We do not want it to go slowly. And then by the next 3 days, it should be out, bringing up to 31 knots for some areas in Mississippi and Arkansas, and then just weaken from there. Now we're going to be looking at the H50 HPA wind. Now this, guys, is, I already said this in the last video, but this is 5,000 feet out into the atmosphere. So this is not going to be the exact wind, but it actually could, because this is for the higher elevations. But I want to show this, guys, for those people who live in the higher elevations, because it looks like it can go out into the Appalachian Mountains, and we do have some mountains reaching over 5,000 feet, which means they can actually have these winds. So that's also why I want to show this. But again, it has not made contact with the land because it's 5,000 feet in the air. So that's why it's always going to be bigger in size and stronger winds. So we have 60 knots here going through parts of Louisiana. We actually do see the eye right here. So looks like we could have a hurricane here. By the next 48 hours to 60 hours, we are having up to 81 knots. Again, higher elevations, but there's no high elevations out here in the South Central. But if we go all the way to 90 hours, we start to go out there in parts of Kentucky up to 58 hours. This is where we have to watch out here. As it moves into the Appalachian Mountains, into the Virginia and Georgia and the Carolinas area, that it shows us to possibly maybe 24 to 38 knots for Virginia and Georgia and parts of Atlanta. These areas are all in the Appalachian Mountains, so this could be actually real winds there. That's why I'm also showing that. And then it could possibly be some other system going out into the Atlantic. You can see. Alright, so now we're actually going to be looking at the vorticity now. Again, the vorticity has not really changed yet, really a lot. It is again showing going right through parts of South Central Louisiana, going straight up to Mississippi and Louisiana border. Looks like it's going to go right over the Mississippi River for a long time. So that is, if that's the case, then that's really devastating and possibly could be very bad. And then again, it just goes right through the Mid-Atlantic and the Appalachian Mountains and spills out into the Northern Atlantic now. Guys, now we're going to be looking at the radar. So again, this one does, the GFS now shows it at 1,000 when it's actually at 998. But as you can tell, we are going to have it by tomorrow. We are going to have it very, very early tomorrow. We are going to have the impact already. Again, this is very, very early tomorrow. And the whole thing's not going to make impact at 1 a.m. It's going to be the outer band, which is somewhat landfall. So now we're going to see at 995 millibars. That's when later tomorrow we're going to have impact on New Orleans. So the radar does show impact on New Orleans, but the spaghetti models do not. And then by later to July 15th, we should have a lot of rain to the southeast. Expect a lot of rain, and we could have possible flooding issues in the coming days after this. The last thing we're going to be looking at is the rainfall totals, which can be very devastating. We actually now have increasement of the maximum of rainfall, and now it's 30 inches, and yesterday was actually up to 25. So it is increasement as we go on. So now we look like it's still the same areas that can have the maximum rainfall. It's the northwest of Louisiana and south Jackson, these little areas in northern Louisiana, the Panhandle, and southern Mississippi, just a couple miles south of Jackson. Again, we could have some more flooding issues though for the Tupelo area, and for Memphis, we can actually reach up to 9.5 inches to 10 inches for northern Mississippi. Actually more, maybe actually a foot there. And then for the Memphis area, we can actually have 8 to 9 inches. And then now that we are kind of seeing some more, looking like it's going to hit more of Arkansas too, we could actually have up to 7 inches for Arkansas, and then a good amount for the Appalachian Mountains. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. Again, go check out Insight Weather, and we're going to be collabing later. And guys, expect a video out possibly even between maybe 2:30, 3:30. I don't know, because I'm going to be collabing around that time. So I'll just have a notification bell if you don't have already done so. Stay prepared, guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye.